What happens if the employee is personally at fault for the incident that caused the work injury? Attorney George C. Creal explains, in Georgia, any injury that occurs at work is recoverable under the Georgia Workers' Compensation Statute because, as an employee, you are not required to prove that someone else was at fault for your work-related injuries. As a sort of statutory compromise for paying for all injuries that occurred during the course and scope of employment, the damages are reduced to include only medical expenses and income benefits, and not pain and suffering. Your authorized doctor bills, hospital bills, rehabilitation, physical therapy, prescriptions, and necessary travel expenses will be paid if the injury occurred on the job. If you're put completely off work for more than 7 days, then you're entitled to income benefits of up to $675 per week for up to 400 weeks, or 2/3 of your average weekly wage, whichever is less. Your first check will be mailed to you in 21 days. If you are catastrophically injured, you are entitled to 2/3 of your average weekly wage, or $675 per week, whichever is less, for life. If you are economically impacted by your work injury, there is temporary permanent disability, which is an economic injury caused by a work injury that will result in a situation where you are working but making less than you were before the injury. In this case, you would be eligible to receive 2/3 of the difference between your pre-injury wage and your post-injury wage, capped at $450 a week with a maximum of 350 weeks. Finally, there is a permanent partial disability, which you would be eligible for if you were injured at work, reach maximum medical improvement, and are given a disability rating for part of your body or your whole body by a doctor. If the doctor were to give you a 10% disability rating for your whole body, then you would be entitled to receive 10% of the 400 weeks of temporary total disability, or $675 times 40. There's essentially a statutory compromise where all claims are accepted regardless of fault, but they're paid out at a reduced level of damages. If you die as a result of a work accident or injury, your dependents are entitled to burial expenses of $7,500 and 2/3 of your average weekly wages, capped at $675 per week. A widowed spouse with no children can be paid a maximum of $270,000. Take the safe road by hiring attorney George Creal and his team, who bring over 50 years of courtroom experience to counsel's table, providing your case with the individualized time and attention to detail required for success.